City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, May 11th, 2015. The roll will show that all members are present. Tonight's council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6A, clerk's report. 6B, treasurer's report. 7, public comment. 8, unfinished business. 9, new business. 10, communication. 11A is warrant 15-09. 11B is warrant 15-09E. And number 12, adjournment. A motion would be in order to accept the council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Makowski, for approval of the agenda as presented. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Agenda approved.
2A, approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held May 4th, 2015.
So moved for May 4th, 2015.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held May 4th, 2014. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
2B, approval of the minutes from the public hearing held May 4th, 2015 at 6:30 PM regarding the 2015-2016 city budget.
So moved. Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for approval of the minutes from the public hearing held May 4th, 2015 at 6:30 PM regarding the 2015-16 city budget. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
3A, petitioner. Tonight, Mr. Chair and Council, we have Mr. Lonnie Hampton. He's from Aerostar Manufacturing. He's here with an application for industrial facilities exemption certificate. Mr. Hampton, can you come to the podium, please?
Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, Mr. Hampton, just speak a little bit about your company and your name.
Okay, my name is Lonnie Hampton. I'm the controller of Aerostar Manufacturing. We've been in business in Romulus since 2004. We manufacture automotive parts, heavy truck, agricultural business. We're looking for a tax abatement. We look to retain 140 jobs and add additional 55 with the expansion project. We're currently looking to hire employees at this time as well. Our address is 28275 North Line.
Okay, great. Any questions from the council? Discussion? Yes, Ms. Makowski and then Ms. Roscoe.
I just wanted to give some feedback. Earlier, we had a session where Mr. Hampton presented the information about Aerostar Manufacturing and their application for an exemption. And, well, just a few of the points. What I'd like to say is that this has been, Aerostar Manufacturing has been a very good company for Romulus. Great hiring residents. They've grown from 50 employees in 2004 to they're going up to, at full capacity. They're looking at a couple hundred employees. They patronize other businesses in their community, and they've got great feedback from their employees. And then from our development team, they indicated that they have a great profile on the road. They look good. They're a business that Romulus can be proud to have in our community. So I wanted to give that feedback just from what I saw in the application, that we're just very impressed, or I'm very impressed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Roscoe.
I think Mrs. Minkowski hit on all the points that I was going to mention. The only thing I will ask you is, what are your hours of business, and can people that want to put in applications come right into your business there and fill out the applications?
We actually have 2 shifts, so we're from 6 a.m. to approximately 1 a.m. We accept applications Monday through Friday, hours between 9 and 3.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always, it's good to, anytime you mention jobs that come to our community, because, jobs are very important, and it just helps the people in general to work and support our city. So I'm glad, and I'm sure the council's glad, and the mayor's glad that you continue your business here in Romulus. Mayor, you have something?
Just a quick comment, and I made it earlier a little bit in the public hearing, but Aerostar has been a great corporate resident. They've always taken care of their property, and more importantly, taken care of their employees. Employing Romulus residents, supporting Romulus businesses, and their expansion project we're happy to have here. It has gone through Planning Commission and been approved as well too, so they're serious about it. There is activity over there, and we're looking forward to working and having more companies in our city that are resident-minded and city-minded. So just want to pass on my experiences with them, and they've been a good company to work for, and we're very much in support of what's before you.
Okay, great. Okay, any more comments from the council?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Ms.
If
Roscoe.
there's no more questions, I'll make a motion to approve Aerostar Manufacturing application for industrial facilities exemption certificate.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut, for Aerostar Manufacturing application for industrial facility exemption certificate. Any discussion?
Just a clarification, please, Mr. Chair. Ms. Roscoe, are you proposing for a 12-year?
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't mention
That's
that.
okay.
For 12 years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you, Ms. Abdo.
Thank you.
Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tonight we had 3 sessions. The first session was at 6 p.m. study session, and that contained amendments to the zoning ordinance, industrial districts. At 6:30, we had a study session mandated changes to our city FOIA policy and changes to the entertainers ordinance. At 7 o'clock, we had a public hearing for Aerostar application for industrial facility exemption certificate, which you just heard from Mr. Hamilton. I have an announcement to present the Romulus Middle School and Unique Collections presents 3rd annual Be Unique, Not a Bully Talent and Fashion Showcase, Friday, May 15th, at the Romulus High School Auditorium, which is 9650 Wayne Road. And doors open at 6:30 p.m. for red carpet. Show starts at 7 p.m. And students with ID, $2, students without ID, $3, adults, $5. There'll be a raffle and great prizes. And it's hosted by Mia and Detroit's own Brio Air. Sounds by DJ De Niro, 734. Men's Hair and Unique Barbershop. So it's a good cause, and we get rid of these bullies out here. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I just hope every mother had a good day. You deserve it, and you're well worth it. Some of us, mother wasn't here, mine wasn't, but she was here in spirit. And always cherish your mother, every moment, every chance you get. Because she's one person to cherish. A lot of good things happened over the weekend. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna let Mr. Wadsworth, I'm gonna let the mayor, they're gonna expound on it more. And first of all, at this time, I'm gonna recognize Councilman Wadsworth.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barden, and unfortunately, my mom wasn't here on Mother's Day, and she told me, Billy, sit up in the chair straight, so I'll try. Before I talk about the Friday night event, our bowl-a-thon, I'd like to recognize one of our residents that this coming Thursday will turn 95 years old, Irene Bezick. For the newer people in town, maybe some of you don't remember her, but I do. She was married to Ed Bezick, and they moved on to Hildebrand. In 1936 and 37, they built their house, and when she was 18 years old, they moved in that house. And I believe she watches the meetings, and as we speak tonight, she's there in the house. She lives by herself, so she's slower. Oh my God, 95 will all be slower. But I seen her this weekend at the 5 o'clock Mass at church, and this Thursday, which is May the 14th, she will turn 95 years old. To give you some history about her husband, during the 1960s, her husband Ed was a supervisor in our town, and he was really instrumental in building this building, in fact. He's the one that had the idea to put it here, and he was one of other people. And he served as the Wayne County Commissioner and passed away about 15 years ago. And Irene, happy birthday to you.
Okay. Thank you, Bill.
In fact, could we get some type of a resolution, and if you can get it to me, somebody will support it, we'll make sure
I would
she
support
gets-
that.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Yes?
Okay, the motion was by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski for a resolution. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Okay, the other thing obviously I want to talk about is this past Friday night at the Romulus Lanes, we had our 11th annual bowl-a-thon, and it's the best one that we ever had. We raised $3,183, and it was quite an event, and I was quite pleased, and a lot of people had nothing but good comments about it. I'm going to take about a minute and a half to read this list to thank everybody that was involved. And when I miss your name, please tell me, and I'll bring it up next week. Of course, Mayor Leroy Burkroft, Mike and Maria Boudre that run the bowling alley and don't take 10 cents for the event, the Frank Ayers family, Joe Uzu, J.R. Roden, the Metro Realty, Doug Leary of the Romulus Auto Parts, Robin from Fluff and Puff, the Romulus House, Dave's Barber Shop, Jim Pollard from the Westland Fire Extinguisher, the Steers family from Steers Hardware, Marcus McNamara and the city engineers, the Romulus Hardware, Dave and Tony, Judge Parrott, J.T. Crova Towing, Jets Pizza, John Delincic from the Burger King, Pat and Lynn from Blue Sky Ice Cream, our new chief of police, J.D. Settles, Councilwoman Kathleen Abdul, Jake's Auto and Truck Repair, Mark Lukowitz from the Landis Machine Shop, Outdoor Exports, Frank Audi, Bill Crane, Maria Lambert that does all the typing for this for me, the Associated Newspapers that she gave me some ads in the paper and didn't charge 10 cents. The Romulus Cable Company, Roger Cadu, of course. The Michigan Granite Company, Dennis Davison, Keith Johnson, Dr. John Herman, Romulus Chamber of Commerce, Steve Hitchcock, City Attorneys, Nick from E-Course Market, Michael Kasparik from Raymarks, the Public Credit Union, Chief of Staff Robert Dickerson, Julie Waitoko in the Mayor's Office, Waste Management, Elaine and Samantha McCall, Jasmine Dancy, Martin's Towing, Linda and Kathy, the cable people, the Planning Department, Economic Development, the Fire Department, and their dog, Fluff or Puff, whatever his name is, big guy, Glenda's Pizza, Rose Swadam, and from the city itself was John Barden, Ellen Bragg and her husband, Stacy Page, Chris Dunn. I believe that's it, and I will do it again next year. It was an unbelievable event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth.
And if I miss someone's name, 941-0616, call me.
Okay, thank you. With that, that concludes the chairman's report.
Mr.
So
Chair.
moved to accept the chairperson's report.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, council, clerk, deputy clerk, and audience. Quote tonight comes from Calvin Coolidge. Don't expect to build up the weak by pulling down the strong. I picked on that one because we talk about Romulus strong, and that's been kind of a theme lately. You know, we've had some employees that have been battling some health issues, and I'll tell you what, I'm proud of this community. We have had some fantastic events for employees that are dealing with medical issues. We had, Mr. Wadsworth talked about the animal shelter efforts. We had so much going on just this weekend. Seemed like we didn't have a weekend, but we had a 5K at the middle school that they did. We had clean sweep. I don't even know where to start. There were so many people that helped with clean sweep. We had employees, we had Boy Scout troop, we had 3 different schools from the Romulus Community Schools. We had St. John's Lodge. We had the cemetery crew out cleaning the cemetery. St. John's went right out to Park 1, worked all day, cleaned things up. We actually had the airport cleaning, the airport authority. They had people out on Middle Belt Road doing Middle Belt and Lucas Drive. So an awesome event. And then they had the event that was at the Relay for Life for Team Cindy, the bowling event and pancake that was busy and very, very well attended. And to top it off, on Saturday night, we had the Cinco de Mayo theme for Linda McNeil. And I tell you, I was blown away at how many people came out, how many people worked. I'm not even going to try to read names because I will forget so many people, but we had people stepping up from all areas, employees. It was at the senior center, and it was just overwhelming. Linda and her family were just truly just blown away by the love that came from the community for her during this time. We hope in the next day or so to have an announcement about the results of that, but the good thing is it was so successful, and the afterglow was just so positive from everybody. So, but continue to keep her in your prayers as she battles. Debbie DeMoisey as well, and Bill Gibson. They're all good employees that are battling right now, but very proud of our community. We have a lot of, I'll tell you, for a city, we have this strong hometown, kind of small town, love for each other, to care for each other, and people step up in a huge way. So that was fantastic. And another example, something that's coming up this week, just to put you council approved it last meeting, but just a reminder, this Wednesday, the 13th, starting at Romulus Police Department, it's actually kind of a walk or rally. It's like at 4:30. We're going to be walking down Bibbins to Shook, up Shook to Tobine, and into the back of the high school. And it's really just a proactive way to make sure that you hear all this stuff around the country about police and people against police and things that haven't been happening properly. We had a couple students at the high school that wanted to do their senior project that came in. PD worked with them, JD Settles worked with them, met with them, laid out an awesome way to be positive and proactive about telling your story rather than reacting the other way. So you're all welcome to that. It's open to the public, and that'll be this Wednesday. Tomorrow's a big day. I want to give a shout out. We usually just recognize electeds, but Tim Keyes has a birthday. Happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday.
You know what? We're happy to have Tim on our team. He's done a great job for the city, and I know since he's come back, he's working his tail off, working hard. You saw Aerostar here tonight. We've got other things that we're working hard to develop and develop it right in Romulus. So thanks, Tim, for all your efforts. In my normal business report, I do have a couple things to cover tonight that I need some approval on. The first one up is 5A, and it's basically just a request to extend the bid 11/12-14, and that's an existing piece. It's an additional 2-year extension for Petrula and Sons, and it's per the direction of our ordinance department, and the extension will expire May 13th of 2017.
So move, Mr. Chairman, for the extension of the weed cutting. It's 11/12-14.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, to extend bid award 11/12-14. at the existing bid price for additional 2 years to Tula and Sons.
Yeah, let me
Any
clarify,
discussion?
it's a 3-year
3
extension,
years?
I'm sorry.
3 years old.
Okay, it's 3 years. Any discussion?
Well, it's
There's 2, I guess, from there's
Is it
2
two? I
discrepancy
years, but
in
it
the
makes
sheet,
a
so
total 3-year.
So it's 2 years?
2017
years.
is 2 years out, so the final agreement does says 2017.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. 5B is a request to award bid RFP 14/15-09, and that's for the acquisition and replacement for basically an interview recording and recording management system, and that's to replace some additional equipment that comes from Romulus Police Department. The only bidder was Absolute Sales International. The amount's $13,954, and that comes out of the state forfeiture fund.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Abdo, to award the bid RFP 14/15-09 for the acquisition of replacement for cameras and additional equipment for the City of Romulus Police Department to the only bidder, Absolute Sales International, in the amount of $13,954. In discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5C, and it's request to award bid 14/15-23. That's for the acquisition of one single-axle dump truck for the DPW. Lowest possible bidder was Wolverine Freightliner, Inc., along with a truck and trailer specialist. The amount is $162,622, and that comes out of the motor vehicle capital outlay account.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate?
I'd like to make a motion that we award bid 1415-23 for the acquisition of one single axle dump truck for the City of Romulus Department of Public Works to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Wolverine Freightliner West Side, along with the Truck and Trailer Specialties Incorporated in the amount $162,622.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to award bid 14/15-23 for the acquisition of 167-yard single-axle dump truck for the City of Romulus DPW to the lowest responsible bidder, Wolverine Freightliner Westside Incorporated, along with Truck and Trailer Specialties Incorporated, in the amount of $162,622. In discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mrs. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is just a authorization to purchase on an as-needed basis our coal patch material from Cadillac Asphalt, formerly Barrett Paving, under the DCC bid plan, which is $108.25, and the price is guaranteed through 2016, April 30th.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to authorize the purchase of an as-need basis coal patch materials for the repair of local and major roads for Cadillac Asphalt under the DCC bid at a per-ton price of $108.25. The price is guaranteed through April 30th, 2016. In discussion? Roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up before you is an authorization to allow the mayor and clerk to enter into an attached professional service agreement between the City of Romulus and LSL Planning, and that is to update our master plan, cost not to exceed $22,500. Funds have been projected and budgeted in the last and prior budget. And just as an FYI, I know the airport is also going to be updoing their master plan, so we'll be sharing information as we go through that process.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate?
I'd like to make this resolution that we authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into an attached professional services agreement between City of Romulus and LSS Planning to update the master plan for the cost not to exceed $22,500.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Abdo, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into attached professional service agreement between the City of Romulus and LSL Planning Incorporated to update the master plan at a cost not to exceed $22,500. In discussion. Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. And the last item for action is item F. And what you have before you has been part of a long process, but this is this year's General and Special Appropriations Act for the upcoming fiscal year 2015 and 16 budget. I'm proud to present a balanced budget to City Council. Even though the last year we had taxable value was down a couple percent and some fines and forfeitures. I know you'll find that after the last couple study sessions and public hearings, we're at about 12% of expenditures for fund balance. The great thing is I feel about our community is that we still have this undeveloped land, and we still are the best bargain as far as millage rate, the lower millage than any other community in all of Wayne County. So I'm proud to present what's before you, which is to adopt our General Appropriations Act for this 2015/16 budget as prepared by our Finance Department and submitted by myself.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Makowski.
if I may, I'd like to move that we adopt the General Appropriations Act for fiscal year 2015/2016 as prepared by the Finance Department and submitted by Mayor Burcroft.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to adopt the General Appropriation Act for fiscal year 2015/16 as prepared by the Finance Department and submitted by Mayor Burcroft. In discussion.
Mr. Barton,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
if I could, just a quick comment, and I intend to vote for this budget. I have no problem doing that whatsoever. But when I first did see the budget, there were some things in there that I disagreed with, and I went to the administration, and we were able to work out some of these things. If you're looking for the perfect document, there is no perfect document. This is a balanced budget. It does give us recreation. It expanded the library over there. There's some things in there that I still have a hard time to accept, but I will accept them when I vote yes for the budget. One thing I wish that we would work as hard as we could, Mayor, is to end our forced furlough days.
Agreed.
I don't like other things happening when those things are in place. Everybody in this building, being union, non-union, work hard and are good people, and there's no ifs, ands, buts about that. Like I say, everybody up there could look for a reason not to vote for it. I don't think it's the right thing to do. Our charter, 9.4 says that we must have a balanced budget by June 30th, and that's why I'm voting yes. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
I'm
Ms.
sorry, under
Ms. Clerk.
discussion, we do have a request to speak. I apologize, I just saw this. I didn't realize we do have someone from the audience
Okay.
that would like to have a comment regarding the budget on this line
Okay.
item. We have Jan Lemon, who is asked to have comments under discussion.
Oh, okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Clerk, audience. In 2009, when we started the Cemetery Board of Trustees, the economy was extremely bad. Things are looking up as far as I'm concerned. If you all look in the budget between Mr. Keys, between the council, the clerk, the mayor, we will be given money for the cemetery. This money will purchase a Victorian gate to represent the history of that cemetery. And this past weekend, while we were in there, I will talk under my 3 minutes, but I learned a lot about the budget. Abby, I've pestered her. Mr. Keys, I went to you. When there's money that is allotted for something, I want to know where it's at. where it's going. If I lose it, that upsets me, but I work forward. And I think this time, we're finally gonna get something going, and the cemetery is going to accomplish things. And the budget for the cemetery is great.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you all very much. Sorry, Abby.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Ms. Makowski, do you have any comment?
I didn't know if we're done. Everybody's
Yeah.
good? Okay, yeah,
Done.
yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you very much, council, appreciate it. Just wanted to add, earlier, and I never take phone calls, and I had to take one tonight, and I'm going to ask to be excused. My father-in-law's taking a bad turn, so.
Okay. Yes, Mayor. You have our prayers with you, Mayor.
6A is the clerk's report. Item 6A1 for first reading is a zoning map amendment for PC 2014-014 and PC 2015-012, and zoning ordinance text amendments for Article 8, districts, Article 2, use standards, and Article 24, definitions.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion for first reading of zoning map amendment for PC 2014-014 and PC 2015-0112, and zoning ordinance text amendments for Article 8, industrial districts, Article 11, use standards, and Article 24, definitions.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Choate, for first reading of zoning map amendment for PC 2014-014 and PC 2015-012, and zoning ordinance text amendments for the Article 8, industrial districts, Article 11, use standards, and Article 24, definitions. Any discussion?
You have one comment.
Yes, Ms.
I'd
Roscoe.
just like to thank Carol and Tim for all their hard work on this, and this is really going to open up different areas to allow industrial and different companies to come in where they weren't allowed to come in before, and it's just going to really help build our community and bring in more taxes and all that kind of good stuff. But again, I just want to say thank you to Carol and Tim for all their hard work on this.
Thank you, Ms. Roscoe.
And if I may as well?
Yes, Ms. Makowski.
One other point, Ms. Roscoe made some very good points there, and I'd like to also add that not only does it open up some previously areas that we couldn't develop before in this manner, it still protects our residents from noise and fumes and all those bad traffic things that could happen, so.
Okay,
that's it.
thank you.
you.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Before I close out my report, just like to thank everyone who helped out with the election last week, and we all made it home at a decent hour, and just all of the residents, those that are election workers, it's a long day. Their day starts out between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, and they're here late at night, and so I'd like to thank all of the election workers. As every election has its own set of challenges, particularly like to just acknowledge my staff, Barbara Fitzgerald, right-hand lady here, Rendell Wooden, Ann Lammers, and Paul Antolon, really worked as a team and to make sure that we got the job done. Also the DPW, the guys, they're there in the morning, they're picking up and delivering all of the equipment. They're also here very late. And then, of course, the administration and everyone who just had a hand in supporting that. Again, thank you for your support during this past election.
Thank you.
And that concludes the clerk's report. Under, let's see, 6B, our treasurer, she could not be here tonight and wanted me just to mention that to everyone. She wanted me to mention that just to remind everyone that this weekend is a furlough day. Usually our city treasurer announces the furlough day, so this Friday, May 15th, is a furlough day. And number 7 is public comment, and this is the portion of our meeting that's set aside for those that are in the audience who would like to have a comment. If you would like to do so, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by our chairperson, approach the podium, state your name, your address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Mr. Chair and Council, we do have one written request, and that's from Al Lewis.
Is Mr. Lewis in the audience?
He's with Teamsters Local 214. He left? Well, maybe he'll come back and, you know, we can call on him. We can see if there's anybody else.
Okay. We have Ms. Lemon in the audience.
Okay. This weekend, we cleaned in the cemetery. When people wonder what we do in there, when we say clean, the shrubbery that people have planted decades and decades ago, they're covering up monuments that names are on them that you would never, ever expect. This year we unearthed we uncovered 2 of them. Fred O. Hartline, he's a Spanish-American War, and he was the Ohio Infantry. He was born November 12th, 1879. He died December 19th, 1954. The other one was really a wonderful find for us. Christina Olenoff was from New Jersey. She was a nurse in the Army Nurse Corps in World War I. She was born October 29th, 1883, and she died July 14th, 1967. Now, when we go out there with our own shovels and rakes and tools, we could not do this if it wasn't for the few people that come and help us. And these people come every year. I have to thank Sheldon Chandler, Judy Fredericks, Barb Killingback, Dave Ellison. He said, Jan, now I understand why your group do not want people planting little shrubberies. He says this is what happens over the years. So he understands what we're trying to do. Linda Choate, Tammy McGrain, and myself. This has become such a passion for us to see that we can find things that people don't even know are there. When I find something, I call Gerald Wendland, because he is related to the first person buried in the cemetery, Polly Pullins. And he has paperwork from the 1800s to prove it, and he has records, and he just went right to the record, and he told me what sections these 2 headstones were in. So it's just a wonderful thing that we have in our city. This cemetery is just a very, very important part of our history. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Any other comments from the audience? No other comments? We'll close that part out, Madam Clerk.
8 is unfinished business.
Mr. Barton.
Yes, Mr.
I
Wadsworth?
can, I should probably ask Roberto this question. This past Friday at the bowling thing, I was approached by about probably 4 or 5 people. When these garbage cans come in June, they get 1 green one, 1 yellow one. If they want a second can, do they have to pay, and is there a monthly charge? Was the question. And I think they have to pay, but there's no monthly charge, is there?
Yes, there is a monthly charge. I believe it's $4.
Do they pay for the can too?
No, they don't pay for the can. That's the charge to lease the can by month.
And how do they pay? They pay directly to
They
Waste Man?
pay directly to Waste Management. They call the 1-800 number for Waste Management,
Okay.
and they get direction from
So it
them.
make no difference what size you got. There's
Right,
a
they
monthly
can-
fee of $4, right?
Correct.
Wow.
And someone say 12?
No. That's for your.
$4, okay.
$4.
But they
fine.
don't have to pay for the can.
Correct.
It'll be brought to them, and at some time, if they wouldn't want the second one, they can turn it back in.
Yes.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Okay.
If there's no more unfinished business, number 9 is new business. 10, communication.
Have a couple things.
Yes, Ms. Roscoe?
Mr. Chair. First of all, Jan was talking about different veterans that they found headstones for and things like that. And we have a Veterans Memorial outside of City Hall here, and it's very beautiful. And if you go up there and you look, you find names of people that have served our country, and you can actually now, back in the day when they first built it, you could buy a brick and have your veteran in your family or a friend or whoever it may be, his name put on there, and they're doing that again. And so you can purchase a brick, put your veteran's name on it, whether it's your family member or friend or whoever it may be, and they've got spaces on the wall and they got spaces on the ground for different prices. But if you're interested in doing that, you can call the treasurer's office at 734-955-4511, and they can give you more information and prices for the different size of bricks and so on and so forth. But if you've never came out and looked through the names and so on and so forth, you'd be surprised how many people you actually know from our town that's names are on there. So, and also, coming up soon, and I'll mention it now because we won't be here before then, is we're having a grand opening. We're opening one of the parks over on Beverly Road and Henry Ruff location. Right there, it's park number 1, and that's going to be May 19th on a Tuesday at 5 o'clock, and we're inviting everybody out. They're going to have a softball game. They'll have snacks and some refreshments there for you, and we just ask everyone to come out and support that effort. And if you haven't checked out your community connection when it came in the mail, you need to, because on the back, it's got all the information about your garbage cans. And it's got, a website to go to, email where you can contact Waste Management and get more information if you need it. It's got the dates when you can start seeing your garbage cans show up at your house, but it's just chock full of all kinds of stuff that's coming up and things that we've already done. And if you tossed it off to the side and you haven't looked through it, pick it back up. There's lots of good information that everybody needs for their everyday life, not just articles of what we done and things in the past. But it's got the recreation information. It's got the fact that we're having the fireworks back on Thursday, July 2nd, just chock full of all kinds of things. So pick it up, read it, stash it away somewhere so you have it when you need it. And that's it for me.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Just want to remind the residents that the citywide yard sale begins this week, beginning Thursday, May the 14th through Sunday, May the 17th, and there's still time for those that would like to obtain a permit in the clerk's office. It's too late to get on the list, but if you'd still like to obtain a permit, there's still time to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
And also, I just want to give kudos out to Jasmine Dancy for all the hard work for this community connection. I just think she did a great job on it, and everyone that helped her with it.
Thank you.
11A for approval is warrant 15-09.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate?
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 15-09 in the following amounts. General Operating Fund, $72,941.71. Major Street Fund, $39,667.87. Local Street Fund, $19,464.86. Cable would be $114.20. Street lighting, $43,352.72. Community employee activity, $379.01. Sanitation fund, $209. Community development block grant is $12,091.50. 911 is $1,268.65. Narcotics Enforcement Fund is $1,428.95. DDA is $6.83. Tifa District 2, $258.12. Water and Sewer, $492,450.82. Motor Vehicle Fund, $11,563.06. Technology Services, $2,180. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $4,515.15. Property and Liability Self-Insurance is $500. Revolving Fund is $3,179.55, and the Payroll Fund is $486.51, for a grand total of $700,006.58.51.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Kraut, to pay warrant number 15-09 for $706,000, $58.51. Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 15-09 will be paid.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Ms. Choate.
Second warrant, we make a motion that we pay warrant 15-09E, and this is for payment of the workers for last week's election, in a grand total amount of $9,505.
Support.
Who supported that? Mayor. Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Kraut, to pay warrant number 15-09E for $9,505. Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and warrant 15-09E will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Abdo, for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.